All right, ladies and gentlemen, I believe I'm live. Give me a minute to put my phone up onto my thing that holds it in this vehicle. So I'm hoping I'm live. I'm hoping you can hear me. Since the mic is on, so I'm assuming that I'm on. I don't think I got to hit anything else. So hopefully you hear me and hope this is going off without a hitch. But this is yours truly, Dan Adams, a.k.a. the soulful conservative, the DA, and the prosecutor. And this is a live, and I mean live edition as I'm driving home from the 9 to 5 in my car, edition of the Dan Adams Show here, February 7th, 2017. It's going to be interesting to see how this sounds when I'm done. But let's proceed, and I'm going to give you what you need. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are in the midst of some sheer and utter nonsense in regards to the Democrats, the leftists, the liberals, the mainstream media, and their attack, their all-out assault, their full frontal assault, if you want to call it, against President Donald J. Trump. And it has to do with this whole situation of, was there a FISA? Was there not a FISA? Was it denied? Was it accepted? Was it approved? And you look at it, I just posted something just previously on social media in regards to, wait a minute. Wasn't it just a few weeks ago, up until maybe this past week, I guess the weekend when Trump made his allegations of wiretapping, and oh my gosh, Trump is in bed with Russia and Vladimir Putin and every other Vladimir that you could think of that lives in Russia. He's in bed. His whole campaign is in bed. They're spooning, ladies and gentlemen. Spooning. They're so tight. They're so close. But now, with Trump throwing it right back at everybody, especially the Obama administration, throwing it right back at him, saying, you know what, wait a minute. Something ain't right here. And I've got evidence. I can connect the dots like many people are doing as I speak in regards to, remember that tarmac meeting between Loretta Lynch and Bill Clinton? Well, if you didn't know, guess what happened the day after that meeting? Guess what happened the day after that meeting? Let me think. A FISA, guess right, a FISA warrant was requested to surveil Donald J. Trump and his campaign and surrogates. The day after the infamous tarmac meeting with, at the time, Attorney General Loretta Lynch and the wife of the Democrat nominee for president, Bill Clinton. So you can take that for what it's worth. You can wrap it in a bow and say, what? Nah. Yeah. Go look. Go find out. Go listen. Go have a seat. Take a chill pill. Throw back a martini. Do whatever you have to do. Because, ladies and gentlemen, that's what happened. So that happened in July, right? End of June, early July. Then another FISA warrant request was issued in October. And from what I can gather and from what I am seeing and from what I'm getting from the fake news outlets, that now the fake news outlets are discrediting. That's right. You had all these stories, and if you haven't seen Mark Levin's total takedown in regards to this wiretapping situation, I suggest going to my site, thepoliticalheat.com, all one word, thepoliticalheat.com, and go to the blog archive. And it should be within the first 10 posts in there, maybe the first 5, maybe 10, depending on where it's at. But you'll see it. I'm paraphrasing the title of the post. Mark Levin goes ham on the Obama administration in regards to wiretapping Trump. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you may have a situation where, number one, if a FISA was submitted and denied, then let's let everybody know. Because right now it is being talked about. It isn't like it's something that's in secret and no one knows about and no one's talking about it. Because all you got to say is a yay or nay. So we can put to bed, so we can tell Brian Stetler from CNN to shut the F up. And we can tell all these pundits going after Mark Levin like Chris Matthews and Joe, I don't give a heck, Scarborough, calling him a right-wing, I forgot what he said in regards to calling Mark Levin a right-wing something. Talk show, something. I can't remember exactly what he said. But really, ladies and gentlemen, really, you're going to have a situation where, number one, as I said, just say yay or nay in regards to if these FISA warrant requests were submitted. That's all you have to say. Now, if you can't go into detail as to what was in those FISA warrant requests, so be it. But ladies and gentlemen, it is not that hard. It is not that difficult to just say yay or nay. Yes, FISA warrant requests were submitted, and for whom and why. Then again, if you can't divulge that kind of information, at least let us know that, hey, these happened, and Trump and the White House right now aren't the only ones telling you that it happened. Because as Mark Levin so eloquently broke down, you had all of these fake news outlets like the New York Times, Politico, Slate, and all these other ones just coming out and saying that FISA warrant requests were issued. But now you have the likes of Chuck Todd and Brian Stetler at CNN and others. Mika Brzezinski only got a job because of her father and who he is. Ladies and gentlemen, all of these articles. So you want to push back against Trump, and his sources, but yet now the sources that you stated are telling you these FISA warrant requests were issued. Now you don't believe it. We're wiretapping, huh? Really? So we go from an all-out assault on trying to nail Trump for being in bed with Russia to now wiretapping. What is wiretapping? I don't even know what wiretapping is. That's how it is, ladies and gentlemen. That's how they're trying to play this. And it's not going to work. And now, with hashtag Vote7, ladies and gentlemen, the latest WikiLeaks dump goes to show and goes to it's an ultimate reference right now in regards to what the American governmental intelligence agencies have been doing to us Americans, spying on us left and right, freaking spying on us through smart Samsung TVs. You kidding me? Now, granted, you want to spy on me and look at my stuff? Go right ahead. Because I have nothing to hide. I may have an occasional obscene email here or there, or this or that, or some obscene viewing pleasure, if you want to call it, if you know what I mean, but here or there, or this and that. But that's about it. I'm not talking about blowing up. I'm not talking about aligning myself with terrorists, radical Islamists, global jihadists. No, that's not what I'm doing, ladies and gentlemen. So you can spy on me all you want. But the fact that you're doing it, ladies and gentlemen, the fact that you're doing it warrantlessly, without any provocation in regards to, we have some evidence within our bank that I guess would alleviate any concerns in regards to why we're coming after you. But that is not, and I mean not in the cards, ladies and gentlemen, in regards to this. This is not a situation where, number one, ladies and gentlemen, you have innocent Americans being spied on for no reason whatsoever. You got James Clapper with Chuck Todd on Meet the Press on Sunday saying that he would know if a FISA was submitted, was, drawn up in regards to then candidate Trump, then President-elect Trump, and then elected President Trump. But I'm thinking to myself, really? James Clapper, Mr. in 2013, lied under oath to Congress? That's right. You lied. You lied, James Clapper. So how are we going to believe you in regards to this latest revelation of these FISA warrant requests? Now, ladies and gentlemen, you can, I don't know, I guess you can take it for what it is. And it is a definite violation of maybe possibly the First, Fourth, Fifth, Sixth Amendments. And Barack Hussein Obama trying to act like he didn't know what was going on. Please. His entire 8 years, he was wiretapping Americans, foreigners, foreign entities, foreign governments. So please, spare me. I don't know what was going on. That wasn't me. It was my people below me. Get out of here. The people below you can't initiate a FISA without the highest level of approval. And that is within the executive branch. And guess who that is? The President of the United States of America. So please spare us this nonsense. This sheer and utter nonsense that you, number one, didn't know Barack Hussein Obama. You were the president at the time. Now, either, as people keep saying, either you're lying out your ass, or you were so inept and so incompetent that you had no idea what your administration was doing. You didn't have a handle on anything. You were so dumb or naive to allow your administration to go rogue, allow your administration to do whatever the hell it wanted to do, because every time something popped up, some controversy or some scandal, your tagline was 99.9% of the time, oh, I heard about it in the news. Really? That was your MO. I heard about it in the news. So, like I said, it's either or. There's no in between. Either you're lying through your ass, or you were so incompetent and inept that you didn't know what your administration was doing. You did not have a handle on your administration for the 8 years that you were president. And I am leaning towards the first. Not the latter, the first. That you're lying through your gluteus maximus in regards to, I didn't know, I don't know. Yeah, right. Mr. And it's kind of funny, I'm about to bring this up and I'm going to tie it into the next topic. Mr. You can keep your doctor, you can keep your plan, lying through your ass to the American people for weeks. Never apologized. Never said my bad. Never said, oh my gosh, please forgive me for lying to you, the American public. Never happened. And now with this, I guess, I don't even know how to even start this next topic. But I'm going to go ahead and do it. Ladies and gentlemen, you have a situation where now the GOP, after 8 years of sitting on their ass, not having a right in their back pockets plan to replace Obamacare. Now they're rumbling around with their chicken, like a chicken with their head cut off, trying to figure out what they're going to do to repeal and replace Obamacare. And I'm thinking to myself, why are we repealing and replacing? No, repeal do away with the law, and let's go back to how it was before the law was passed. How about we do this? Add some innovative, ladies and gentlemen, add some innovative ideas, some innovative strategies, some things that will cut back on cost, that will cut back on the red tape, things that will allow individuals like, and I'm seeing these suggestions, but haven't even looked at this proposed GOP bill. But some people are letting me know here and there what's in it. But it better have portability across states. It better have free market solutions, health savings accounts. It better have some major ingenuity in regards to saving costs, cutting red tape to the point where it's almost non-existent. Because how can you have some individuals out there, and I believe, I'm trying to think, it was on Sean Hannity, he was talking about this doctor and a network that he and some nurses have started where they charge a flat fee, one for children and one for adults, and basically everything is free unless it's catastrophic care, like having a heart attack, stroke, getting in an accident, something to that effect. But everything else is covered. Your doctor visits, stitches, exams, tests. How is it that these individuals, excuse me, can come up with something as slick as that? Something so simple, ladies and gentlemen. And I would like to get a full scope of how it's being done. But if they're doing it right now and it's working, then why aren't these people, these newly elected, and I'm talking about the new HHS, Mr. Price, how about you look up these people and find out what they're doing? Trump, look up these people, find out what they're doing, so you can alleviate the middleman, and I'm talking about Congress, because they don't know what the hell they're doing. They had 8 years to come up with some type of what's the word I'm looking for? Alternative, thank you, Dan, came into my head. An alternative to the chaotic mess that's been left because of Obamacare. So, ladies and gentlemen, wow. I'm having second thoughts in regards to what I'm going to do in a comeback, clapback, pushback in regards to this GOP proposal. I have to go online and look at it, read it, dissect it, and see what's in it. Unlike someone who said it needs to be passed first in order for us to see what's in it. And I'm talking about, yes, Princess Pelosi. That's right. That's what that biatch said. You remember when Obamacare was in the throes of trying to be thrown down our throats by Barack Hussein Obama and the Democrats. Excuse me. Got some phlegm I got to get out. This is yours truly live, so recognize. All right, roll my window back up and get back to the topic at hand. And that is Obamacare. So, ladies and gentlemen, here you have it. A situation where, number one, the GOP, number one, sat on their asses for 8 years and didn't have something ready. They could have had something ready year one and then made amendments to it, made different other kinds of advancements, enhancements, or whatever else you want to call it, in regards to having an alternative right ready to go, ladies and gentlemen, in regards to Obamacare. But no, they waited until finally a Republican president was elected, majority GOP in Congress, and now we are now bearing the fruit of that lackadaisical attitude. We are now bearing the fruit of them sitting on their hands and not being proactive. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you may have your own beef in regards to what the GOP has put forth. I have some, and like I said, I have not fully read this proposal, so I'm not going to completely hammer them, but from what I'm hearing and from what I'm seeing in posts on social media, that a lot of people aren't liking what's in it. So I'm just going to have to read it for myself and then come back and then, come up and make my own decision in regards to if it's something good for the American people, if it's something that we can accept on the conservative side, if it's something that we can negotiate, if it's something that we can be, I guess, less apprehensive about. Now, I've always had the, I guess, common sense approach of, okay, throw it out there, let me see what's in it. But when I see what's in it and it's something that I don't like, I'm going to call you out on it. I will be specific, and then I will say to you, this is what I don't like, why I don't like it, and what I think you should put in place of it. And I hope that you're doing the same. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's go on and move on to the final topic of this live, and I mean live edition, right in my car, driving home via the Spreaker Studio app on my phone. This is the live ride home at 6 edition of the Dan Adams Show, March 7th, 2017. And this is the prosecutor, the DA, and I guess, the person that has probably the most even keel in regards to those who I hang out with on the radio/podcast/broadcast medium. But I get heated sometimes. You've seen me on my Facebook Lives. I get heated. But let's go ahead and finish this particular episode, podcast, broadcast of the Dan Adams Show with this. You see on the horizon, ladies and gentlemen, you see on the horizon what is about to take place, what is about to jump off, as we say in the hood, in regards to the continuous efforts of the left. They are going to continually bombard us with idiotic notions of why President Trump should be impeached and removed from office. You have idiots like fake-ass black man Shaun King, who, number one, New York, I think it's the New York Daily News that he works for or writes for, or whoever the hell it is, New York something paper. Really? You're going to hire a white man basically committing fraud, not basically, is committing fraud by going around saying that he is a black man. So now I know where you stand and what your morals are and how you roll at your company. But he was just saying, there's got to be a way for us to vote Donald Trump out. And I'm thinking to myself, really, dude? Have you read the Constitution lately? But it is going to be a continuous, all-out assault, making up this false and fake accusations and allegations in regards to Trump and his administration in order to control the narrative as to why he should be impeached and removed from office. But, excuse me, as I said the other day, if that was even to happen, ladies and gentlemen, and the left succeeds in that, do they not understand who the vice president is and who would be the next president if that was to happen? So then you're going to go ahead and do whatever you can to knock out Mike Pence? That would, honestly, ladies and gentlemen, that would be on the horizon. That would be the case. Ladies and gentlemen, that would be the standard operation for the leftist liberal Democrat Party here in America, and their surrogate, their blowhorn, their megaphone, the mainstream media, because they want Trump out just as much as they do. So let's put it in perspective, ladies and gentlemen. Let's put this whole thing in perspective. Continually watch what they say and what they do, and juxtapose that, laminate it, put it on whatever social media outlet that you may be a part of, and let even those on the left who are in bed with this, I guess, pipe dream of removing Donald Trump from office, let the world know that how maniacal and completely off the hinges the Democrat Party is here in America. They are completely off the rails. Any sense, ladies and gentlemen, that they had in regards to common sense, any form of a sane thought that would come out of their mouths and minds is no longer there. It is completely gone. It no longer exists. So please stop trying to look for it. For those out there who are on the front lines, as myself, battling the left, the liberals, and the mainstream media in this country, sometimes it is just better to just let these people go on and on and on. Let them continue to showcase themselves as the fools that they are. Because ultimately, keep saying, ultimately, they are going to show their hand at every turn, show how idiotic and maniacal they are, show how the lunacy that they want to continue to portray, ladies and gentlemen, in regards to what they do on a daily basis. A daily, and I mean daily basis. And I'm looking at, just having to go over to the chat here as I pull in and stop and make a stop here. Steve C says, stop saying left. Call them Democrats. Left is not on the ballot. Well, you got to understand, Steve C, that the Democrats are the liberal leftist party in this country. There is no more Democrat. You may have to divulge yourself as a Democrat in regards to when you go vote. But they are the liberal, leftist, communist, Marxist party of America. You just have to associate yourself as a Democrat when you go vote. Now, got about a minute and about 15 seconds to end this particular broadcast. So I'm going to do this. Going to give out all the particulars in regards to how to reach yours truly. On social media, it is so easy now, and I'm glad that I did it. On Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, Gab, I'm at Dan Adams Show. Easy as it is. At Dan Adams Show on all of the social media outlets. The website, thepoliticalheat.com. All one word, thepoliticalheat.com. You can get the latest, you can get the greatest from yours truly. And I'm still looking for authors and bloggers to help me out on the website. So until next time, ladies and gentlemen, may God continue to bless you and your families. May he keep you and your family safe. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, God bless you and yours. Peace and blessings.